The best method for finding the transportation cost is Vogel's approximation method. For changing unbalanced into balanced, we have to apply dummy row or dummy column according to the requirements and add all the demand values 30, 20, 15, 10 and 20. It is 95. Is this balanced problem? No, it is unbalanced problem. You just take the supply value and demand value. Demand value is lesser than the supply value. It becomes 0. So you can cancel this column. So 8 minus 4 is 4. Hello everyone. Welcome back to my new session. I am Shweta, Computer Science Faculty, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, MYSURU. In my last session, I have discussed about Vogel's approximation method. It is one of the type of transportation problem. It's giving the best procedure compared to northwest corner method and least cost method. In the last session, I have discussed about the balance problems on VAM method, Vogel's approximation method. Today, I will discuss unbalanced problem on Vogel's approximation method. What is this unbalanced? If demand is not equal to supply, if supply is not equal to demand, we can call it as it is an unbalanced problem. So usually in transportation problem, we are finding the minimum transportation cost using northwest corner method, least cost method and Vogel's approximation method. The best method for finding the transportation cost is Vogel's approximation method. So already I have discussed the balance problem. So today I will explain the unbalanced problem on Vogel's approximation method. Let's get started now. So a transportation problem is said to be unbalanced if the supply and demand are not equal. If your supply and demand is not equal, we can call it as it is an unbalanced problem. In unbalanced, we have two situations, that is, supply is less than demand. If your supply value is less than demand value, how to make it as balanced? A dummy supply variable is introduced in the equation to make it equal in demand. For changing unbalanced into balanced, we have to apply dummy row or dummy column according to the requirements, right? So here, if your supply value is less than demand value, what will you add? So you can add dummy row. If your supply value is less than demand value, we can add dummy row. And if demand is less than supply, a dummy demand variable is introduced. So if your demand value is less than supply value, we can introduce dummy column. If supply value is less than demand value, we can introduce dummy row. If your demand value is greater than supply value, we can introduce dummy column. So these are the two situations in unbalanced problem. If it is unbalanced, no need to worry about the unbalanced problem. So you can make it as balanced by adding dummy row or dummy column according to the requirements. Clear? So let's get started with an example problem. So here you have one table. You just observe the table. The number of columns is 5 and the number of rows is 4. And add all the supply values and add all the demand values. Here I will add all the supply values first. 15, 25, 42 and 35 is 117. And add all the demand values 30, 20, 15, 10 and 20. It is 95. Is this balanced problem? No, it is unbalanced problem. So what we can do for this unbalanced? We can make it as balanced by adding dummy column. Here in this case, supply value is greater than demand value, right? Supply value is higher than demand value. So I will add dummy column with 0 matrix. If your supply value is greater than demand value, means you can add dummy column. Here I have added dummy column with 0 matrix. So in supply it was 117 and In demand it was 95. So 117 minus 95 is 22 have added in demand place. So now you can cross verify 15, 25, 42 and 35 is 117 and 30, 20, 15 plus 10 plus 20 plus 22 it's also 117. So now it is a balanced problem, right? It is a balanced problem now. Now you can proceed. So what is the next step in Vogel's approximation method? In Vogel's approximation method, we have to find the row difference and column difference. Row difference and column difference. Here, why do we need this row difference and column difference? For finding the highest penalty cost, we can find the least value here. Using the highest penalty cost, we can find the least value. For finding the highest penalty cost, we can use this row difference and column difference. So now, I will use row difference first step. So how to find the row difference? First consider the least value here. The least value is 0 and the second least value is 1. So 1 minus 0 is 1. This is first step. And in row, second row, least value is 0 and the second least value is 3. 3 minus 0, 3. And in third column, least value is 0 and the next least value is 2. So 2 minus 0 is 2. And in the fourth row, least value is 0 and the next least value is 4. So 4 minus 0 is 4. And row difference is finished. Now column difference. How to find the column difference? Again, you can consider the first column, second column, third column like that. First consider the least value here. Least value is 3 and the next least value is 4. So what is the difference of 4 and 3? It is 1. And in the second column, least value is 1 and the second least value is 2. So 2 minus 1 is 1. In the third column, least value is 6 and the second least value is 7. Difference is 1. And in the fourth column, least value is 4 and the next least value is 6. 6 minus 4 is 2. In the next column, least value is 5. Again, the next least value is 5. 5 minus 5 is 0. And in the last column, we have only zeros. So 0 is the least value. 0 minus 0 is also 0. So it is the first step for row difference and column difference. Out of these values, you just consider the highest penalty cost. So which is the highest value here? The maximum value is 4. I will take 4 as the highest penalty cost. So it comes under the fourth row. You can consider this row for finding the least value, right? Here, which is the least value? Least value is 0. Next, you just take the demand value and supply value. Demand value is lesser than the supply value, right? So I will allocate 22 rupees to this cell. Got it? And it will become 0 and I can cancel this entire column also. And 35 minus 22, it's 13. Right? 35 minus 22 is 13. So we have 13 rupees in supply. So first step has completed. So I have cancelled this entire column. So no need to find it again. You can cancel this entire column. And again you have to find the second row difference and column difference. So now again consider the first row, second row, third row and fourth row. In the first row, least value is 1 and the next least value is 5. 5 minus 1, 4. And in the second row, least value is 3 and the next least value is 6. 6 minus 3 is 3. And in the third row, least value is 2. Next least value is 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. And in the last row, least value is 4 and the next least value is 7. 7 minus 4 is 3. And in column difference, least value is 3 and the next least value 1. Least value is 1 and the next least value 2, difference is 1. Least value 6, next least value 7, difference 1. And least value 4 and 6, difference is 2. And here again 5 minus 5 is 0. So now just consider the highest penalty cost again. Highest value is 4. It comes under the first row. I will consider the first row for finding the least value. In the first row, which is a least value, 1 is a least value. I will take this cell as a least value. We just take the supply value and demand value. Supply value is lesser than demand value. I will allocate 15 rupees to this cell. It will become 0. Then I can cancel this entire column also. And 20 minus 15 is 5. So now no need to find it again to this row. Next for the third step, column difference. Least value is 3, the next least value 4, difference is 1. Least value 2 and the next least value 9, difference is 7. Least value 6, next least value 7, difference is 1. Again 6 and 4, difference is 2. Again next least value is 8, least value is 5, 8 minus 5 is 3. Next, coming to the row part, least value is 3, next least value 6, difference is 3. Here least value is 2 and 4, difference 2. And in the last row, least value is 4, the next least value 7, difference is 3. Now consider the highest penalty cost. It is 7, right? So 7 comes under the column B. So next I will consider this column. In this column, which is the least value, 2 is the least value. You just check the supply value and demand value. Demand value is lesser than supply value. I will allocate 5 rupees to this cell. It will become 0 and I can cancel this entire column. What is the difference of 42 and 5? It is 37. And the next step, you just consider, no need to find it again. Fourth step, again row difference. 6 minus 3, 3. 5 and 4, 1. Again 7 and 4, it is 3. Next column difference, 3 and 4, it is 1. 6 and 7, 1. 6 and 4, it is 2. 5 and 8, it's 3. Here we got the same value in row difference and column difference. You can consider any value has the highest priority. So I will consider the first digit, 3. So it comes under the second row. In the second row, which is the least value, 3 is the least value. Just check the supply value and demand value. Supply value is lesser than demand value. I will allocate 25 rupees to this cell and it will become 0. So you can cancel this entire row. Clear? And 30 minus 25 is 5. So I have cancelled 2 rows. Next, again row difference. 5 and 4, difference is 1. 4 and 7, difference is 3. We have only 2 rows remaining. And again 7 and 4, difference is 3. 7 and 10, difference is 3. 6 and 4, difference is 2. 5 and 9, difference is 4. Now again consider the highest priority cost. Highest cost is 4. So here the highest penalty cost is 4. It comes under this column. In this column, least value is 5. You just check the supply value and demand value. Demand value is lesser than supply value. I will allocate 20 rupees to this cell. It will become 0. Then you can cancel this entire column again. So 37 minus 20, it is 17. Here I got 17. And again we have 2 more rows. I will find the column difference. 4 and 7 difference is 3, and 7 and 10 difference is 3, 6 and 4 difference is 2. And row difference, we have 2 more rows, 4, 6 and 7. So 4 and 6 is the least value, difference is 2. And 4, 7 and 10. Difference 7 minus 4 is 3. So here the highest value is 3 only. You can consider any 3. So I will consider this digit. It comes under the 4th row. In the 4th row, the least value is 4. You just check the demand value and supply value. So demand value is lesser than supply value. I will allocate 10 rupees to this cell. It will become 0. I can cancel this entire column again. So 13 minus 10 is 3. So finally, you have 2 columns and 2 rows, 4 minus. So least value is 4 and 7, difference is again 3, and 7 and 10, difference is 3. And row difference, 4, 7, difference is 3. 7, 10, difference is 3. Again, you just consider the highest penalty cost. I will take 3 is the highest penalty cost. So now it comes under the 3rd row. In 3rd row, the least value is 4. You just check the demand value and supply value is 17. Demand value is 5. Least value is demand value. It is 5. We'll get 0. You can cancel this entire column. 17 minus 5 is 12. Please write it carefully. And again, we have only 2 digits. If you get 2 digits, directly you can take the least value, right? So here the least value is 7. You just check the supply value and demand value. Here I have 12 and in demand I have 15. So supply value is lesser than the demand value, will become 0. Again you can cancel this entire column. So 15 minus 12 is 3. So now you have only 1 digit. You just check the supply value and demand value. Supply value is 3. 3 is remaining. And in demand also 3 is remaining. So your problem is perfect. So now I will allocate 3 rupees to this cell. It will become 0. You can cancel this. It will become 0. So now all the cancellation has done. Please write it properly. Don't get confused. Understand the steps properly. Easily you can score in Vogel's approximation method. It is very simple concept because you are considering only the least value in the variables, right? So just find the row difference and column difference. Easily you can find the least value, right? And after this cancellation method, you just find the transportation cost. So now just check the allotted cells. 1 into 15. 1 into 15 plus 3 into 25 plus 4 into 5 plus 7 into 12 plus 5 into 20 and 10 into 3 plus 4 into 10. So here you just check the allocated cells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 cells are allocated. So 0 into 22 is 0 only. So here I have written the 7 allocated cells. So 0 I have not written here. Now you have to find the transportation cost. You just multiply this and add all the numbers. So your transportation cost is 374 rupees. 374 rupees transportation cost in Vogel's approximation. In Vogel's approximation method, you got 374 rupees. For the same problem, you can find the solution for northwest corner least cost method and Vogel's approximation also. You just compare the values of transportation cost. If you are finding northwest corner for the same problem, your transportation cost will be 547 rupees. To this problem, if you are finding for least cost method, your transportation cost will be 472. And for Vogel's approximation method, Vogel's approximation, you got 374, right? So you got 374 rupees in Vogel's approximation, and least cost method 472, and in northwest corner method you will get 547 rupees. You just compare this value. We got the least value in Vogel's approximation method. The minimum transportation cost comes from Vogel's approximation method. 374 is the minimum value compared to least cost and northwest corner method, right? So this Vogel's approximation method is the best procedure for finding the total transportation cost. So compared to northwest and least cost method, so you will get the best least transportation cost in Vogel's approximation method. You can try this problem for northwest corner and least cost method also. So you will get in northwest corner you will get 547, in least cost you will get 472. Please try out this problem so you can understand the concept very well. So this is about your Vogel's approximation method unbalanced problem. The next problem, here again you have supply and demand. We have destination and source values. First step is find whether it is balanced or not. If it is balanced, you can proceed. So here 400, 500 is 900 plus 600 is 1500. And add all the demand values, you will get 1495, right? So add all the demand values, you will get 1495. In supply we have 1500, in demand you will get 1495. So first make it as balanced by adding a dummy row or dummy column. So this is your assignment question. Please practice this question. And the next problem is, it is very big problem. Please try out this problem. It's the assignment question again. So you have source and destination, demand value and supply value. Add all the supply value and demand value. 50, 40 is 90, 90 and 70 is 160, right? So here add all the demand value. So you will not get 160 here. So you will get 75, 75 plus 25 is 100, 100 and 30 is 130. So it is not a balanced problem. Here you will get 160 and here you will get 130. So you can make it as balanced by adding dummy column. So I have added the dummy column here because 30 is shortage in demand. So now you can cross verify the supply value and demand value. You will get 160. If it is balanced, you can proceed further. So what is the first step? You have to find the row difference and column difference. So every step you have to explain in exams, because for every step you will get marks. Please explain all the row difference and column difference step by step. First consider the least value in the first row and the second least value in the first row. You just subtract that and list all the row difference value and column difference value. And the next step is you just select the highest penalty cost out of this row difference value and column difference value. And you can find the least transportation cost. Please practice this. And the last problem in Vogel's approximation method. So this is your last problem. So first step is check whether it is balanced or unbalanced. So here we have 20, 34 in supply, and here and in demand you will get 30. Add all the demand values, you will get 30. So is it balanced? No, it is not a balanced problem, because in supply we got 34, in demand we got 30. So supply is greater than demand value. Is it right? So supply value is greater than demand value means you can add dummy column. Column name is F. I have added with 0 matrix. So now you can cross verify this. Here 12 plus 8 is 20, 20 plus 14 is 34, and 24, 6 is 30, 30 plus 4 is 34. Now it is a balanced problem, right? So now you can proceed further. So find the row difference and column difference. For finding the row difference, you just consider the first row. First row value least value is 0 and the second least value is 2. 2 minus 0 is 2. And the second row, consider the least value here. Least value is 0, second least value is 1. 1 minus 0 is 1. So, except this supply value and demand value, you can consider only these variables for finding the row difference and column difference. Don't get confused. In the third row, least value is 0, the second least value is 3. 3 minus 0 is 3. And in column difference, 4 and 5 is the least value, difference is 1. Again, 2 and 4 is the least value, difference is 2. 3 and 4 is the least value, difference 1. 2 and 2 is the least value, difference 0. 1 and 3 is the least value, difference is 2. So now, take the highest penalty cost. Highest penalty cost is 3. So, it comes under the third row. In the third row, least value is 0, right? So, I will take this is the least cell. You just check the supply value and demand value. Demand value is lesser than supply value. So, I will allocate 4 rupees to this cell. It will become 0. You can cancel this entire column. So, 14 minus 4 is 10. In the next step, no need to find the value here. So, it get cancelled. So, again find the row difference. Here, least value is 2. Again, least value is 2. It's 0. Least value 1 and 2, difference 1. Least value 3 and 4, difference 1. And in column difference, least value 4 and 5, difference 1. And in the second column, least value 2 and 4, difference is 2. 3 and 4, difference is 1. 2 and 2, difference is 0. 1 and 3, difference is 2. So, now take the highest penalty cost. So, 2 is the highest penalty cost. I will take this 2. So, here it comes under column B. In column B, least value is 2. You just take the supply value and demand value. Demand value is lesser than the supply value. It becomes 0. So, you can cancel this column. So, 8 minus 4 is 4. So, cancel this for next step. And again, row difference 2 and 3 is the least value, difference 1. 1 and 2, difference is 1. 3 and 4, difference is 1. In the column difference, 4 and 5 is the least value. And 3 and 4 is the least value. 2 and 2 is the least value. And 3 and 1 is the least value. So, difference is 2. So, now highest penalty cost is 2. It comes under this fifth column. Here in the fifth column, the least value is 1. You just check the supply value and demand value. Demand value is lesser than supply value. I will allocate 8 rupees to this cell. It will become cancelled. So, 12 minus 8 is 4. So, in the next step, again find the row difference and column difference. So, here 3 columns get cancelled. So, row difference 3 and 2, difference 1. 2 and 5, difference is 3. 4 and 6, difference is 2. So, now column difference 4 and 5, difference 1. And 3 and 4, difference 1. 2 and 2, difference 0. So, highest penalty cost is 3. It comes under the second row. In the second row, least value is 2. So, you just observe the supply value and demand value. Supply value is lesser than the demand value. It will become 0. You can cancel this entire column. So, now 8 minus 4 is 4. So, in the next step, 2 and 3 is the least value. Will become 0. And third row, 4 and 6 is the least value. Difference is 2. And here in column difference, 6 and 4, difference 2. 4 and 3, difference 1. 7 and 2, difference 5. So, here 5 is the highest penalty cost. It comes under column D. So, 2 is the least value. You just take the supply value and demand value. Both the values are same. I will allocate 4 rupees to this cell. It will become 0. It will become 0. You can cancel this entire column and entire row also. So, finally, we have 2 more values, 6 and 4. The least value is 4. You just check the supply value and demand value. Demand value is lesser than supply value. I will allocate 6 rupees to this cell. It will get cancelled. So 10 minus 6 is 4. And the last digit is 6. So both the values should be same. You just observe this demand value and supply value. Both the values are same. So I will allocate 4 rupees. So it will get cancelled. Become 0. You can cancel this column also. So now all the cancellation is done. Find the transportation cost. Just consider the allocated cell 2 into 4 plus 2 into 4 plus 2 into 4 plus 1 into 8 plus 6 into 4 plus 4 into 6. So totally we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So 0 into 4 is 0 only. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Find the transportation cost. So total transportation cost is 80 rupees. It's about your Vogel's approximation method. It is very simple concept, dear students. Easily you can score in transportation problem. So totally you learned 3 main transportation method, that is northwest corner method, least cost method and Vogel's approximation method. So definitely there will be a problem on this topic. You can expect this question for 7 marks. Easily you can score 7 marks on this topic. So please practice all the problems. Easily you can score on transportation problem. So in my next session, I will come with a new topic called assignment problem using Hungarian method. Thank you.